Guess what I just found out?
What?
I was looking online, reading stuff, and I found out.
Like comments?
No, just pages. I found out I might be a rude person.
You just found.
Well, take that back. Extremely rude person. How did I find out? You were asking? It wasn't comments. Because comments, yeah, I'm rude, obviously. I was on a site and it had, you had like, it says a title or whatever. The title was Rude Without Realizing It. These 14 everyday habits older people need to stop. So it was mostly for older people towards younger.
Yeah.
But if you fall under a lot of these categories,
You're the problem.
you're rude, right? So, all right. So that's the topic of our podcast today. Someone's about to find out if they're extremely rude or not. Okay. Number one. So these are traits. If you fall under it, admit it.
Oh,
if I do, I will.
Okay.
First one, interrupting people mid-sentence because you already know what they're going to say.
You.
Why?
Because you do that to me all the time.
Okay, so the definition or what it says is done is finishing someone's sentence or cutting them off might seem like a sign of engagement, but it often comes across as dismissive, according to Live, Bold, and Bloom. I guess that was a site, whatever. And it's mainly for younger generations, especially value being heard and interrupting signals that their thoughts aren't important enough to let them finish. It's supposed to be towards young people, but
You literally do it to me all the time.
Exactly. So you bring this up every time we have an argument or a debate or anything. That's the first thing you bring up is that I cut you off. I don't let you finish. And my response was exactly what it says here.
I already know what you're going to say.
I already know what you're going to say. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish it for you. So
Rude.
you obviously think it's rude. Is it something I've gotten better at? Do you feel like I'm trying to stop it?
No.
At all?
No.
You have to admit, at least I'm acknowledging that I do it.
Yes.
I'm acknowledging that I didn't know it was extremely rude. I just was like, okay, she doesn't mind because I'm going to basically get you to where you need to be a lot quicker. And isn't that what we all want in life? Like you want to get someone faster. So I know where you're going. Let me cut you off and let me just tell you where you want to get to go. But is it? I mean, if you're saying it's rude, at first I was kind of taking it like with a grain of salt. Like, okay, yeah, she's just saying that because she's the one getting cut off. But I mean, online they're saying it, so I guess there must be some truth to it. Okay, so that was the first one. So right off the bat, ding, 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 it hit me. Okay. Second one, talking about, quote unquote, the good old days like they were perfect. It says, nostalgia is great, but constantly reminiscing about how much better things used to be can make younger people. So see, this is mostly for younger people, like older to younger.
Yeah.
But I thought it would apply to everybody. But also, where are we? Every generation faces its own, can make younger people feel like their experiences aren't valid. Every generation faces its own challenges, and dismissing the present in favor of the past can seem tone deaf. What do you think about that? And remember, it doesn't all have to be about me. Related to you and your, kids or other people you associate with.
I can relate that to, because like when somebody is saying something and like one of my kids tell me something that they're going through and I experienced this and it would I think, because I'm invalidating their feelings. I'm not expressing that they're feeling like it's about them right now, not about me. Like let them express their feelings. So that I'm guilty of. I catch myself.
I am 1,000% guilty of that just because most of these are going to just be towards my kids because that's my, that's my biggest interaction with younger people, obviously. But anytime they say anything, I'm like, yeah, but when I went to school, and it's like, I didn't even think of it that same thing. I'm invalidating them, basically saying their experience is like, well, yeah, but da 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 da. back in my day, you know, like they might be like, oh yeah, like I know when they were talking about partying, and it was like, yeah, you guys are okay, but back in my day, we used to go like. That's totally making them feel like, oh, okay, well, ours is just a piece of crap. Our experience is a piece of crap. So I get that. I didn't even know that was. Now I'm going to be a little bit more self-conscious about that.
There's been things that we've argued about or whatever, and you would this is before you would tell me, and you were like, no, but this is this and okay, that's fine, but you're invalidating how I'm feeling.
So you're saying not necessarily even about like talking about past experience, just talking about my experience compared to yours.
Yes.
Like you talk about, yeah, but most of your stuff involves like your hometown Fresno, and it's like
I'm not from Fresno.
Well, whatever. Anything past Tehachapi is, you know, up north. So I just consider you from
And it's
up
not north, it's central.
Central is where it lands, but it's in is it not north of us?
Yeah, it's going north.
Thank you. Okay, so
example.
All right, so far there's been 2. Oh, you didn't say on the first one interrupting people mid-sentence. Do you do that at all?
I do, but I'm conscious, so when I recognize I do it, I stop.
Okay, so you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm conscious of it, so I stop
myself. So then, but you do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're guilty of number 1 and you're guilty of number 2?
Yeah.
It's not off to a good start. Both of the first 2 rude habits, and you're clocking down both. Okay, third.
So did you.
Yeah, but everybody knows I'm rude. Look at the comments on look how many fights I get into on Instagram and on the thing. So people know I'm rude. That's a given. Okay, number 3, giving unsolicited advice like it's gospel. Sharing wisdom is great when it's wanted, but constantly offering advice without being asked can feel patronizing, especially when it assumes younger people don't already have their own solutions or perspectives. And then it tells what you should do. But
oh no, I don't do that.
You don't give unsolicited advice?
No.
That's all you do is give unsolicited advice to me.
To who?
To
when?
me.
When?
Like if I do anything different, you're like, well, I would do this and da da da.
I never do that to you.
Have you ever heard of a thing called women-splaining?
I've never woman-splained anything.
Oh, okay. When I'm in the kitchen and I'm cooking, and then you're like, oh, I wouldn't add that much pepper to it.
Nope.
I wouldn't add that much salt.
I don't do that either. Because you're the one who comes behind me and tastes stuff and is like, oh, you should have done this. Oh, we made.
So if it doesn't have any salt and the recipe calls for salt, I shouldn't tell you it calls for salt?
We made shrimp tacos on Monday, and
they hit.
No,
but you made the wrong sauce.
So
okay,
again,
audience,
is it me or is it you?
Okay, audience. When you go somewhere and order shrimp tacos, what is the sauce that comes with it?
I don't know the name of that sauce. Shrimp sauce. I made cilantro lime sauce, and it was amazing.
It was great. With carne asada, it would probably been the best tacos I ever had. But with shrimp tacos, it just didn't hit. I'm saying it should have been that white creamy sauce. I don't even know what it's called. But
again, unsolicited advice.
Okay, well, so that one, I'm gonna give that you fall under that, but not necessarily me.
No, I think you have that backwards. You give unsolicited advice.
But only when it's needed.
It's unsolicited. I don't need it.
But if that recipe calls for it, I have to, or else it's going to be ruined.
That's your recipe, not mine.
No, I didn't make these recipes up. Okay, all right. Let's not argue on the third point. Okay, we both get it. So right now we're 3 for 3.
I do not unsolicit advice.
Okay, here we go. Please, you're doing the whole talking. I'm going to give you 2 points for that, the interrupting, because now you're interrupting nonstop. Okay, I put D squared for the first one for interrupting. Okay, number 4, complaining about quote unquote kids these days in front of younger people. Fewer things alienate younger generations faster than lumping them all into one category. Oh, yeah. And criticizing them. Complaints about work ethic, values, social habits are often overlook the realities they face and just come across as condescending.
You do that.
Have you ever heard that saying? I think it's called, those who live in glass houses should not throw stones.
I don't live in a glass house.
Oh, so you're perfect. Must
No.
be nice.
I'm not perfect, but I don't do that.
It must be nice. You don't, of course you do that. I've heard you say that. And I'm not saying in a mean way, but you said like, oh yeah, the kids these days definitely aren't as motivated as us when we were younger or something like that. I have definitely heard you say that. I'm not saying in a negative way, but you've definitely compared kids these days, like this generation, to previous generations. See or no?
No.
I hope there's one of these online because
Your cup's going to fall.
there you go. Unsolicited advice. It was right here perfectly.
You should have let it fall
It was
then.
perfectly balanced, but okay. So you don't do that?
The light fell earlier and you blamed it. What did you do?
Okay. The subject was complaining about kids these days. Can we stay on topic?
Husbands these days.
Are you going to answer or no? So you
No,
absolutely
I
don't
don't
do
do
that.
that.
Okay. One of these should be about being truthful because I am truthful. So I'm going to go ahead and mark myself as I do that. I'll be like, and I'll even admit that I was lazy as a kid, but this generation takes it to a whole new level. Like the laziness.
I wasn't lazy as a kid.
That's not the point. The point is then you were saying, oh, this generation is more lazy than I was. I wasn't lazy as a kid. That would be the equivalent.
No, and my kids weren't lazy either.
This generation.
No, they just have a different approach to stuff.
So it's different. That's the whole, oh my gosh. That's the whole point. You're saying this generation is different than ours.
No, you said lazy. I don't think they're lazy.
No. Look. Okay. Let me slow this down again. Complaining about kids
I'm
these
not complaining.
days. You just did. You just said they're
How is
different.
that a complaint? Different is not a complaint.
How completely unprofessional.
Gosh, what?
Come
Go
on.
to your next one.
So, I mean, I've heard you say that, but
Okay.
you don't want to take credit for it?
Because I don't.
You've never compared your generation to this generation?
No.
Okay. All right. Number 5.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm the only truthful one in this house. Oversharing personal details with people you just met.
Oh, no.
Can you let me? Boomers, or I would say older gen, tend to be comfortable sharing personal stories and medical details. But younger, oh yeah, I just did a pod on diabetes.
Health, yeah.
But younger people often find this overwhelming or awkward. There's a fine line between being open and making others uncomfortable with too much information too soon. What's your take on that?
I definitely do not tell people my personal business.
And this one I will. You have ding, 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 ding. You finally have told one truth today. That is true. You're not the type to just start putting all your stuff out there, but do you know, like, part of this is not just you.
No, I know people.
Okay, so
I don't like that.
elaborate a little.
It is, what's that? Like awkward. Like, how do you respond to stuff like that?
Are you just talking about like people that are like strangers that you just meet, acquaintances? What if it's somebody you've known for a long time and they come out and just start
No, I
pouring
don't
all
wanna
their
know.
stuff? So you don't want to know anything personal about anybody.
No.
You just want to stay in your bubble.
Yep.
You don't want to get to know anybody.
No.
You don't want them to
No.
share who they are.
No.
So you don't really want to truly get to know people then.
No.
Wow. You hear that, all her friends? She doesn't want to get
No,
to know
they
you.
know that too.
Don't you think that's like this whole thing is about being rude? Don't you think that's kind of rude? Like
No.
So then how can you consider yourself a good friend if you don't want to hear your friends' issues and problems? That's kind of cold-hearted, but I'm going to go ahead and mark this. Oh, actually for neither of us. Yeah, neither of us. Because I don't share that either, but I mean, I don't do that. I'm okay with people doing it. Not when I first meet them, but if I've gotten to know you, I don't mind you sharing some things. I actually like it because I feel like I get to know you on a more personal level. I mean, consider me a better friend. I don't know. Maybe I'm more compassionate about people's feelings. I don't know, but I do like getting to know people and what they truly are.
I don't.
Okay. Number 6, expecting immediate responses to emails and texts. Younger generations live in a world where communication happens across multiple platforms, and instant responses aren't always realistic. Assuming that a delayed response means disrespect or disinterest can create unnecessary tension. What's your take on that?
So it's a two-parter. With you, yes, I want a response. I know you're on your phone all the time. Your phone is always nearby. So when you don't,
Where's my phone right now?
we're recording. It's right there.
Where? I can't even see it.
But when I'm out of town or something, you're not recording. You're sitting on the couch. You're on the iPad. So you see my text.
False. You just said it right there. So you just killed your argument right there. You said, I'm on my iPad. So, and I've shown you this because you've been sitting next to me. While I have my iPad open, I don't get a ding on my phone.
And again,
So and my iPad doesn't show notifications. So I have no idea that a text came in unless I go and happen to scroll through my phone.
and you do. Because you will sit on your phone.
Right, but it won't be immediate.
You will sit on your phone and text your friends or whatever. They get a response.
If I'm already in a text, like I'm in an active text chain going,
okay,
then yes, I'll go and look. But if I'm not, if I'm just sitting there watching TV and I haven't gotten a text in an hour, I'm not just going to go pick up my phone and be like, oh, I wonder if I got a text.
You always pick up your phone. But for other people, no, it doesn't bother me.
Not immediately, I don't pick up my phone.
For other people, it doesn't bother me.
Okay, but...
For you, it does. For you,
but I don't get all the responses.
It bugs me. I've told you that.
Okay, but if I text you and I don't get a response in 20 minutes, do I flip out?
No, because you don't care.
No, it's not I don't care. It's just I understand that you're probably busy and you're doing something, so I'm not going to freak out and be like, why haven't you texted me back? I texted you 8 seconds ago.
It's not 8 seconds. But
okay, 12 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think that applies to either one of us, and I do believe the younger, at least my kids, yeah, sometimes they'll text back immediate, sometimes it'll be 9 hours later. Am I annoyed by it? Not really. Unless it's like something I'm really trying to like figure out. Like, hey, I need to get this, let me know. If they really truly didn't see the text, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
But if they saw it and just were like, oh, I'll text. Oh, you know what I have a really bad habit of doing is I will see a text come in. And I say, oh, I'm going to respond. Right, but like, I really want to formulate a legit, like, text back, like something legit. You know what I mean? I don't want to just I hate when you text someone, this, that. And they're just like, okay. Like, man, I just spent like 19 minutes formulating that text and all I get back is an okay or yeah, that's cool.
I don't have that deep of conversations to formulate text.
Like, give me something more than okay. So then I will get a little frustrated. That's my only like pet peeve. Oh, but like I was saying, so sometimes I get a text and I see it's something I'm gonna have to kind of like dig into and really text back, and I'll just put it off because I'm like, right now I'm in my perfect position. Maybe I'm in the middle of a Laker game and like I can't put the effort. I don't want to insult that person by texting them some junk. I want to give them my full attention effort, so I hold it off. But then I forget. And then it's like about to go to bed and I flip through and like, oh, I never responded back to my mom about whatever, or somebody. So I have a bad habit of that. But in my defense, it's because I want to give them the text that they deserve. Okay. Number 7. So I don't think either one of us falls under that. I don't think we have an issue. Number 7, commenting on people. Oh yeah, you have a big problem with this. Commenting on people's appearances in ways that feel outdated. Saying someone looks unhealthy, which you say to me all the time. commenting on their weight. You do that to me all the time. Even with good intentions, can feel intrusive. You hear that? Intrusive or inappropriate. Body positivity and personal boundaries have evolved. Yeah, like I had to have that talk with you one time. Like, body shaming is just not cool in this day and age. You have kind of stopped. You're not as bad. But that might have been harmless back in your day, but nowadays it's really insensitive and it's actually considered bullying. So, here's like a tip for you.
Okay.
Instead of focusing on physical appearance, like not everything is about physical, try complimenting someone's personality traits, accomplishments. Like, say what I do good every once in a while instead of just bashing on my looks. Or personal style. You might not think I look good, but say, hey, hey, your shoes are cool. Like, that's pretty dope. You're wearing Jordans. It keeps conversations positive without crossing personal boundaries. So the only thing I will say is, yes, in the past, you are definitely guilty of this, but I feel like you're really trying. In the past, I would say like every other day you would make me feel bad. I say now you only make me feel bad like once a week. Any comment?
Yeah. So now you're just trying to get followers on your side, because I've never said anything about your body. Never. If I'm not mistaken, the last podcast or the podcast after, you said you felt like a piece of meat because I'm only attracted to your physical appearance. So
what podcast are you?
Yeah. So I feel like you're just pushing that out, like deflecting.
I'm going to mark you down for this one, okay?
Yeah.
So D, commenting. This one I can't mark myself down because I'm like one of the, in terms of people's looks, I think everybody looks good. Everybody, to me, everybody has something
You're really just loading it on there, aren't you?
to be proud of. Like I'm that type of person that just tries to find the good in everybody. Okay, number 8. So let's see what the totals are right now. Right now you have 1, 2, 3 categories. You are guilty of being rude. I am 1. Ooh, I'm 4. So actually right now I'm ruder than you. Okay.
Go figure.
Number 8, assuming everyone wants to talk on the phone instead of texting.
Oh, I don't like that.
Phone calls used to be the gold standard for communication. Well, yeah. I mean, there was no texting. But today, many people prefer text or voice messages. Calling without warning can feel disruptive. That ain't no lie. And expecting long phone calls, oh my God, can be exhausting for those who prefer quick exchanges. Yeah, I have 2 cousins.
I knew that's what you were gonna.
J and D, who call, they've kind of gotten the hint, but they used to call daily. And it's like, bro, what don't you understand about, I don't like to talk. And then it would just like, oh, I just want to check in real quick about this. And it was the dumbest thing ever. Like, oh, hey, what? We're coming over on Friday. What time should I get there? Like, bro,
Just come.
shoot me a text.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Hey,
understand
what
why.
time?
And then when I talk on the phone, it turns into like an hour conversation. I can't get off. And I don't have a big problem with talking when I not do anything, and now it is a lot more calmer. This was back when I used to have young kids. It's like, bro, I just got off work. I got to make them dinner. I got to help them with their homework. By the time they're in bed, it's 10 o'clock. And then it's like, now I'm available, but it's like the last thing I want to do is now sit. Now I have an hour of free time before bed. You think I want to go and talk for an hour about random dumbass shit? Like, just send me a text, bro. Like, anything, just send me a text. No phone calls. This isn't 1984. Nobody needs to be talking on the phone.
No.
So
unless it's my kids.
We both agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 9, dismissing mental health struggles as overblown. Boomers, older gen, grew up in a time when mental health wasn't widely discussed, but younger generations are far more open about it. Calling anxiety, depression, or burnout a sign of weakness or just part of life can make people feel invalidated and unwilling to open up. Validating people's feelings, even if you don't fully understand them, can help build stronger relationships. Sometimes a simple, oh, that sounds tough, I'm here for you, is more helpful than trying to offer an immediate solution. You want me to start? On this one, I'm torn because a part of me does feel like there's just too much. Like, oh, I can't do this because of this. I can't do that because of it. Like, it seems like now there's so much crap for stuff. I do get the whole like anxiety and ADHD, but it's like, don't you also feel like now it's almost become like an excuse sometimes? So it's like, I'm not saying it's not true. It's just, how do you tell when it's not just being misused or taken advantage of? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because now anybody can just be like, and I do understand I get stressed out. So I see anxiety and stressful, but I'm never gonna like shut down or act like I can't do anything because of it. Like, I feel like, yeah, it makes things harder. When you're anxious or you have anxiety or you're stressed out, yeah, life can suck. But that's no reason to just be like, well, I shut down. At least as an adult, I don't think you can do that. Like, you still have to just push through.
You have to push through, yeah.
So for me, this one's hard because I think it's more serious. I do recognize that they are real things. When you're a kid, it was just like, you know.
Yeah.
That wasn't something you could use an excuse. Now I feel like it is a legitimate excuse, but it's like, how do you like regulate it? Because now I feel like anybody can just be like, oh, I can act however I want because I'm anxious. Like, well, no, it doesn't give you a blank pass.
That's the sign that you know it's not real. Like they're using it as an excuse. Because people can go around and do things, but if you're constantly using it as an excuse, as a, oh, I'm being rude because I have this, or I don't want to do that because I have this.
Constant, yeah. I guess if it's too much, yeah. Because I used to get like my kids sometimes math. Well, I don't want to say names, but like would be like, this hurts. I have a headache. It's just like. So my response would be like, bro, when I was your age, I didn't even know what that was.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what? Like every day you can't have a headache. Every day you can't, like, how do you have a back pain and all this at 8 years old? Like, come on.
Yeah.
So sometimes I think it's an excuse, but
like
but that's hard to, if you judge somebody and say like, oh, they're just making that up, and then it's not, then you're the complete a-hole.
Yeah. With my kids, one of my kids, I can't go to school because I have okay, well, even if, say Tuesday, I can't go to school, I have a headache, I feel sick. Okay, well, that's fine, you can stay home, but you stay home, you get the whole weekend. Your whole weekend's done. You don't go anywhere. If you have a headache today.
You're straight mean. Why, they couldn't have a headache for one day?
No. Nope.
Damn, bro.
So was it, well, they ended up getting up and getting to school, so the headache wasn't that bad.
Yeah, but sending a kid to school when they're not physically
they were fine.
At 100% is pretty tough.
No, they were just being lazy. They were fine.
Wow. Whoosh. Okay.
That's okay.
Damn. Okay. Number 10. So I don't think either one of us gets a check mark for that because we're both in the middle. Okay, number 10, correcting grammar and pronunciation unnecessarily. Language evolves. And younger generations communicate differently than, why does it keep saying boomers, than their older generation did. Constantly correcting slang, grammar, and pronunciation can feel nitpicky and condescending, even if it's done with good intentions. Unless someone asks for a correction, letting minor language differences slide keeps conversations flowing naturally and avoids unnecessary tensions. What's your take?
So for me, we have gone through this. I don't know how to keep things on track, or I say wrong stuff. Sometimes
But to be fair, English is your second language, right?
It is not. Most might think so, but it's not.
Wait, what's your first language?
English. Again, some people might think it's not, but it is.
Wait, they teach English like as a primary language in Fresno?
It's one, I'm not from Fresno, and two, I grew up in a small farming town where a majority of the language was Spanish, and so I mix them both, or I don't know words for either of them.
Well, then how come your Spanish isn't good either?
I just said, or I don't know either of them.
So because of your area, you kind of got screwed because they didn't want to teach you. They didn't want to teach you English or Spanish. You got caught in the middle.
Yes.
Do you at least speak sign language?
I know how certain letters.
Oh, I thought you were going to be like, yeah, I do, and flip me off.
No, that's
all right. Come on, let's go. We got to get to the point. We're at 30 minutes.
I do like to be corrected on certain things, but if we're talking, just go with it.
So you're saying like, don't break up. If you're in the middle of a story, don't break up the flow. But maybe if it's over text, send a correction. But I don't really, honestly, give you a little bit of props. Every once in a while, you should get a shout out. I don't really see a lot of incorrect word usage through text.
Yeah. No, for the most part, I'm okay. But there are some times where they're with the E and the I, E is time. Like,
now you're confusing me.
See? So, yes, I do like to know certain words. But for the most part, no, I don't think it's... Just go with it.
And I agree with you. Like, I will correct my kid. And actually, there's some times where I don't even correct them, and I should, over text. In person, I don't think I really... No. Yeah. And they don't... In person... I haven't heard, maybe if somebody uses a wrong word, but even then sometimes I'll kind of let it, I don't know. I'm not that, a lot of times with other people, even my kids, I would have no problem correcting, like how you're saying, were, will, whatever, or the proper contraction, whatever. But other people, honestly, that are not my kids, I actually don't correct because that's like kind of embarrassing. Like I don't want to correct.
Yeah, that's why.
Hey, if you've gotten through life not knowing the difference between the theirs, hey, more power to you, bro. Like, you know what I mean? If you don't know how to formulate a proper sentence and you survived, hey, more power to you. You know what I mean? Well, who is
That's kind of scary.
That was your parents' job, not mine to fix it now.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? As long as I understand what you're saying, if it ain't right, who gives a shit?
The only thing is if you're coming at somebody, do it correctly. Don't.
Oh, yeah. I always see that. Like people are battling online and they'll like, if you're battling online with someone and you use an incorrect pronunciation,
your whole
you just
argument's dead.
You just seem like an idiot. Yeah. Okay. So I think on both of that one, neither one of us, we pass.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 11. This might be the last one.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the last one. So I'm up 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're tied right now in level of rudeness. We're tied. So last question. Okay. Assuming younger people don't know anything about history or culture, it's easy to assume younger generations lack historical knowledge just because they didn't live through certain events. But today's youth have access to more information than ever, and assuming ignorance can come across as dismissive. I'll let you start on that one.
Yeah, I think, dismissing them like they have their point of view because they read it or something, and you dismiss it because they didn't live through it.
Or also like them just not knowing.
No, I don't
and
think
like having to correct them on.
No, I don't think that's
rude. Correcting them is rude, or you don't? Do you do it?
If I don't know, no.
Say you know something. Say one of your kids is like, "Oh, hey, mom, I don't like."
If it's my kid, yeah.
I don't like Koreans because they bombed us at Pearl Harbor. Are you going to be like, actually, that was the Japanese, not the Koreans. You shouldn't mix. You shouldn't just say all Asians are the same. Would you correct them on that, or would you just be like, okay, I'll let that slide?
If it was my kid, I'd correct it. I'd tell them.
So you do it.
Yeah, because I wouldn't want them to go do it to say it to the wrong person.
Okay, so then you correct.
If it was my kids, if it was some other like one of my cousins or something, no, go off.
So are you saying all your cousins aren't that smart? What are you saying? They don't know history? Why would your cousins say that?
I mean, no comment. Truly no comment.
Wow. Just taking shots at family. That should be one of the, you're rude if you take shots at family. Oh my gosh. You really are, you're really coming into your own. What's crazy is that you're throwing all these insults to people while wearing literally a Hearts sweatshirt. I'm all about love unless it's my family.
No, I didn't say that.
What do you think about me on that?
No, you just let it. You don't correct. You don't.
I would correct my kids.
Your kids, but you don't if we're at at a house and family's around and, a person's talking and you're not in the conversation, you just hear the two people talking.
Oh, right.
You won't.
No. If somebody though is coming at me and acting cocky and acting like they know everything and it's incorrect, I will challenge them and be like, well, actually, no, that's not correct.
Yeah. But
you are right. If it's just people talk 90% of the things you say are incorrect, do I go and, hey, technically that's not right? No, I let you.
No, you.
I let you live in your world.
No, you don't.
And if that world is wrong, hey, as long as you're happy.
You're so full of it. You do not. You cannot win something with you.
You really shouldn't have worn it.
If I see it my way and you don't see it that way.
Everything's about your way, huh?
No, everything's literally about your way.
You really should not have worn a Heart sweatshirt today. You should have worn a sweatshirt with middle fingers.
What was last night? It was your world. I just live in it.
Last night, I was just watching the Laker game, trying to live my best life. Mm-hmm. Enjoy my root beer float. Yeah. Last night? Nothing happened last night.
Okay.
What happened last night?
I got spanked for it.
Oh, she did get spanked. Hey, you've been those squats have been doing good because when I slapped that ass, it hurt my hand.
Good.
So I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Hey, that ass is getting tight. So it was a draw.
I won.
So no, it was a draw. 4-4 is a draw. So I guess neither one of us is that rude.
No.
We're both, we got half right,
I
half
feel like
wrong.
the
So we're
first
semi-good
one-
people.
The first one, I feel like I'm behind on one. You marked me for one because
All right,
you
so
thought
there you go. And that's the end of the episode. Are we rude?
No.
Nah, we're just as rude as everybody else.
Yeah.
All right, till next time. Good job.
Yeah. Oh. Who? Chris and Steven?